Negotiations reached an impasse.
The revised agreement follows Hamas's suggested changes to the original three-part plan.
No candidate won a simple majority in a four-way race for Iran's presidency, leading to a runoff election on Friday.
Reformist candidate Masoud Pezeshkian and ultra-conservative candidate Saeed Jalili will be the only names on the ballot.
As European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen traveled to Cairo on Saturday to deliver financial aid at the EU-Egypt Investment Conference, Amnesty International urges the EU to push for human rights reforms in Egypt.
The EU will sign a short-term macro-financial assistance package.
An attacker with a crossbow wounded a Serbian police officer guarding the Israeli embassy in Belgrade on Saturday, according to Serbia's Interior Ministry. The officer responded by fatally shooting the assailant.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Not today. We'll do it live. We'll not make you laugh live. Not today. I don't know what it means. There's no words there. Play us out. To end the show. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Good morning. Yes, it's a good morning if you want to make it a good morning for yourself. But in the big scheme of things, it might not be a good morning. It's a good morning for me because I'll be dead soon. And every day closer to death is a good day, I think. I don't know. I really don't know. It is Monday, July 1st, 2024. It is, we are halfway through the year. As of yesterday, as of midnight, halfway through this year. And if you made a New Year's resolution and it has died 6 months ago, or has life changed for you in 2024? That's because I know some people had big plans. I know some people said 2024 was going to be their year. And basically, when I look at them, I see the same person in the same place as they were in 2023. They've done nothing to up their game, to change in any way, to get better in any way, to improve in any way. And there's lots of excuses we could make. We can make excuses, but excuses are just lies you tell yourself for not getting back up and getting in the game. So that's my little rant. Halfway through the year, do a check on your how you doing? How's 2024 working out for you? To me, as I mentioned, I'm one day closer to death, and that's always a good thing. Wow, he's a morbid fuck, isn't he? Today, well, this is a week where we supposedly celebrate independence, not freedom. Well, people think, no, it's not freedom. It's independence from Britain. And a lot of people have the date wrong. See, J.C. Penney, one of the co-hosts of the program, will say, "Oh, you're just quibbling over dates." Well, it's important. It's important to know the date. Date of the signing was July 2nd. July 4th is just, you know why we got July 4th? The 4th of July is easier to say. It's more poetic. More, it just rolls. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, born on the 2nd of July, and it doesn't work. It's all about the roll off the tongue of the 4th of July, July 4th. July 2nd is, I don't know, it's an extra syllable, right? I don't know. It's just not right. So let's make it the 4th. That's where it came from. But the thing wasn't like ratified until like August, mid-August or something. They had to take it by horse to get the other people sign it, to get all the signatures on it. Whatever. What it meant was the start of the war, not the end of the war. People, oh, the country started on July 4th, 1776. No, the country really 1779 when the war ended. All the signing of the Declaration did was start a war. And apropos, maybe that's what we should be celebrating, is starting a war, because our Supreme Court, now, you may not be aware of this, but the Supreme Court of the United States effectively made it against the law to be homeless on Friday. Meaning, if you lose your house, it's municipalities and or you lose your house, your home, whatever, your apartment, your box. Municipalities and states can outlaw it and make it a crime and put you in prison, in jail, for not having a place to go, which does not solve anything for society or for the people affected by it, directly affected by it. What it does is make a lot of people more wealthy, a lot of already wealthy people more wealthy, puts more money in the coffers of people, and this is important, people who are bribing, or as Clarence Thomas might want to say, giving gifts to the people who said, yeah, this is a good idea. The Supreme Court. They are the prison corporations, the private prison companies, the commissary operators, people who, the municipalities who charge for electronic surveillance. All these people who make money off of the prison system, they bought Supreme Court justices. And according to the Supreme Court justices, because the day before, they also ruled that if you give them these gifts, these bribes, after the fact, then it's a gift, and that's fine, because they're in charge of their own ethics now. This is the country we live in. That doesn't sound like the country that we are supposed to be celebrating this week. It sounds like sounds like a little bit of a Nazi Germany kind of situation, or a Soviet Union kind of situation, or a Chinese communist kind of situation where we just we don't even care about the appearance of impropriety anymore. Fuck you. We're in charge. Take it or leave it. And if you want to leave it, we could put you in jail. But at least in jail, you get three square meals a day and health care and stuff like that. Not that it's great health care. You could die in prison and nobody gives a fuck. Anyway, that same Supreme Court today is going to make a decision, or render a decision, or publicize a decision about immunity for the President of the United States. And here's what I think they're going to do. They're going to soft sell it for now while Biden's in office, because they don't want to give Biden blanket immunity. But the minute Trump gets back in office, and I do think Trump will get back into office now, they're going to up it. Yeah, let's up it. We're just giving, just to placate the court case about the documents that Trump stole. We're going to give him immunity on that, because that doesn't affect Biden really in any way. Well, some could argue that it does, but basically, it doesn't allow Biden to send in SEAL Team 6 to wipe out Trump. But after Trump gets back in, and I do think Trump will get back in. Now, the guys waiting patiently in the back are going to argue with me. No. All right, we'll see. But I do think they're going to soft sell it and then up it. That's the plan of this very corrupt Supreme Court. Anyway, we're going to play a commercial here, and then we'll meet JCPenney and those other two guys. And I don't know. We'll try to have a show. We have no guests scheduled today. Maybe Carl might pop in. You never know. But it's not his. We're free from Carl. We're independent from Carl and his king. So maybe we'll just give him a little rousing. Maybe we'll shoot a musket at him. How about that if he pops in?
Hey there, fellow content creators. Are you tired of seeing your YouTube channel growth at a snail's pace? Well, I've got some good news for you. InVideo is here to supercharge your channel growth. With InVideo, you can create eye-catching and engaging videos in a flash. Say goodbye to spending hours editing and perfecting your content. InVideo's user-friendly interface makes it a breeze to create professional-looking videos in no time. But that's not all. InVideo offers a treasure trove of customizable templates, so you can easily tailor your videos to your unique style and brand. Stand out from the crowd and leave a lasting impression on your viewers. And the best part, InVideo is not just a video editing tool, it's a one-stop shop for all your YouTube needs. From creating thumbnails to adding subtitles, InVideo has got you covered every step of the way. So what are you waiting for? Give your YouTube channel the boost it deserves with InVideo. Join the ranks of successful content creators who have used InVideo to skyrocket their channel growth. Trust me, you won't regret it.
No, I regret it. I totally regret it. Get that thing off my screen.
What's up, motherfuckers?
What the hell is wrong with him?
Anyway, what's wrong with you guys?
Good morning, JCPenney.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Is your AC on the fritz? Well, let the MindDogTV.com AC experts stop your AC from putting on the fritz. MindDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering.
Wow. It's just such a coincidence. The Rev's AC is also down. His was down yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's a conspiracy.
This might be God telling you guys where you're heading.
Anyway, so yeah,
to the AC store to get more AC?
Generally, yeah.
Is that where we're headed?
Right. I would just, just do whatever you need. You call the HVAC people, get them over there, put it on the credit card. It doesn't matter. The world's coming.
I did. They came yesterday. They came yesterday and they couldn't fix it yesterday.
Why not? They are incompetent. They
And
suck.
no, the inside of my unit was full of ice. It was full of ice. They had to wait for the ice to melt.
You have an icy unit?
Just the inside.
Ooh, that sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, the outside is room temperature.
That sounds more like chlamydia than AC issues, but I understand.
Wow. The Democratic Party is showing their true colors, man. And they're not pretty. They're not pretty colors. If you watch the pundits on or pay attention to the pundits on Twitter or the morning shows on television, the political shows, the people who are saying that it is unpatriotic to even discuss removing Joe Biden from the ticket or asking him to voluntarily step down. They're saying that it's just a wrong. People don't. I'm the expert. You people should shut the fuck up. I'm the only expert in the room. I'm the only one allowed to have a voice. Sounds a little bit.
I didn't know you
like,
were on TV yesterday, Matt.
I know that was good.
It sounds a little bit like the Republican Party under Trump right now. It's like, no, he's our leader. He's our only leader. We have to pledge allegiance to the leader. And my position has always been that it's never about a personality or a person. If it is, you're a fucked up retard. If you care too much about the politician, the personality, and not about the principle or the issues, you're lost. You're just a fucking cheerleader. You're a party cunt is what you are. And I'm sorry for all these people who just love Joe Biden. You know what? Joe Biden's record is pretty good, and I have no doubt that he could get through 4 more years. I talked about this. I have more experience with old people than most people do. I get to see them every day. And I see people with aphasia. I see people with varying degrees of dementia and Alzheimer's and all that kind of stuff. And my mom went through that, and my father-in-law went through that, both under my roof, and I watched it. They have absolute moments of clarity and can be competent in any job that they couldn't handle. And that goes for both Trump and Biden with their advanced cognitive decline. Both of them. They both have moments where they could get the job done and be competent in whatever that means. But they can never get hired. Neither of them could get hired at a McDonald's to flip burgers right now. And the fact that they are both running for the highest office in the land as job applicants and people are considering them is just stupid. And so, you know what, even if you believe that Joe Biden has a great record and you have to consider the fact that he's not going to win. And you can argue that you think he's going to win. And maybe he will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people, but it's not. The debate didn't change my mind. I didn't watch the fucking debate. I've been saying for 4 years the optics of him being a feeble old man, and I'll come back to Barack Obama and John McCain. Barack Obama did not win because of the recession. Barack Obama won because he debated John McCain, and John McCain looked like he wasn't. You wouldn't trust him to hold the TV remote. Never mind the nuclear.
Well, it also helped that his number 2 was Sarah Palin.
Yeah, that didn't. But the reason listen, the GOP had every reason to reject a black guy with a Muslim-sounding name who was endorsed by Jeremiah Wright, who had a communist mentor. All these reasons to reject Barack Obama. Some of them even went across lines and voted for Barack Obama simply because McCain looked just too feeble and old. And we're in the same exact position. So anybody who doesn't think optics play a big part in this, it's just in denial and just a team player. And that's it. And I know you guys think, hey, it'll all work out. Biden will win. If you're right, you're right. And you know what? But I don't see it happening.
Well, let's be fair. Let's be fair, though. They're both feeble old men. And
right.
The
But the
only
optics of it is not the same. Trump does not, even though Trump. And here's the deal. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, Bill, but here's the deal. Trump could fucking fuck a kangaroo wearing a clown outfit, shoot everybody on the street, and his loyalists will still stay loyal to him. Biden stutters once, and people are ready to jump off ship for him. It's not the same. You can't. Not apples and apples. It's apples and bananas.
At least Biden didn't do a hard reboot like Mitch O'Connell did a few months ago.
That's true.
Shutting down, and you could, and
that's absolutely true. But
you could definitely see Trump's feebleness because he could only repeat the same thing over and over again. And I think
you can see it.
Yeah, and that's done on purpose because I don't think he's smart enough or he has the wherewithal to go further or deeper on an issue because it's either age and the mental capacity is not there either.
Well, not just that, but the only thing Trump was able to get out of his mouth that was even remotely understandable as far as digging deeper into a situation was his admittance to not taking the election if he doesn't win. That was it.
Yeah, and the golf swing, and he's cool with genocide. Remember, he's cool with genocide, and none of those guys did the country a favor that night.
No.
Even as feeble as Joe was for an 81-year-old man, like an 81-year-old man would be, at least Joe was actually trying to make points. The only thing Trump come back is like, I just shit my pants. It's immigration. Shit my pants. Immigration.
Again, it's not about the debate. The debate. I read the transcript. I did not watch the debate, but if you read the transcript, it's clear that nobody can debate somebody who's just going to pile on a mountain of bullshit because all you have time really to do is say each lie was a lie. This is a lie. This is a lie. But the optics of this and I think the thing you're not getting is it with Trump. Craziness, dementia, stupidity, incompetence are not a bug. They are a feature for his customers. They want that. My friend Ralph says he wants Trump to blow up the world. He wants to start a nuclear war. This is their fucking mentality. They want stupid. They want crazy. They want incompetent. That's why they chose him. They love this fucking wasted human being. They love the fact that he cheats on his wife. They love the fact that he lies about it. They love everything about the cheating, no good scumbag that he is. So when you're pointing out, but he's just as it's not the same. For Biden, it's a bug. For Trump, it's a feature. The people who would vote and can be convinced to vote for Trump love him because of all the retarded shit he brings to the table.
Well, yeah. I mean, he has his core base, obviously, but I think what most of the country felt is like none of these guys can do it. And really, if there was a younger candidate against Trump, they would have easily wiped the floor with him because Trump literally had nothing. It was just the same thing over and over. You know, a candidate is probably a little younger and ready to barb with him. You could easily tear Trump down. His administration couldn't fucking handle a crisis in COVID because Trump would have won the election if his moronic administration could have put a COVID plan together. But they, in typical Trump fashion and sad white fashion, they blew it again.
No, you're right. He would have won the election if they would have handled COVID even half-assedly.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's a bad businessman. He doesn't know how to handle a crisis. Except let's just go to court.
He doesn't want to work. He wants to golf most of his life, or fuck, golf and fuck. But it comes down to the optics of the thing. Now, here's the thing with Trump. Even when he seems to be confessing in real time, he lies so much that you don't know if the confession was a lie. Because if you read the transcript, he said he talked to Vladimir Putin before he invaded Ukraine.
About his dream to invade Ukraine. Yeah.
About his dream. Yeah. I talked to him about it. He was a private citizen. He has no business talking to the head of a state, another state at that point, especially about invasion plans, and not reporting them immediately to the FBI, to the White House, and say, "Listen, I talked to Putin. He's going to be invading Ukraine." He didn't. He says he had that conversation. Now, you don't know if he really ever had that conversation because everything he says is a fucking lie. But if he did have that conversation, that is treason, and he admitted to it in real time. Nobody even talked about that because all they wanted to talk about is how Biden looked blown away. But again, Ron says a younger person would have been able to debate him. You've never sat in a room with a guy who just for an hour and a half throws bullshit upon bullshit on you. Even you bring up good points, but you can't even address the points because all you're doing is redressing complete bullshit. And here's the other part of that. At the beginning of this show, there's a disclaimer that says we encourage fact checking is encouraged. Trump went to CNN and said he would not do the debate if there was any fact checking. Who does that except a fucking liar?
Fucking liar, exactly. It's a clown.
I would have said, "Fuck it, then. No debate." We have to be able to say. You have to promise to tell the truth and do your best to tell the truth. And if you're going to plan, it's just to come in and lie for an hour and a half. Let's not do it. That's. But again, if you try to debate somebody like that, you can't do it. It's just too many.
A good debater.
There's too many points to address. In 1 answer in 2 minutes, he lay out 14 lies. You can't address all those and then still come back and make any real points. All you're doing is saying that's not true. That's not true.
A good debater could circle around him, and when he just keeps hitting those same points, somebody that's sharper. Because like Biden actually had some decent zingers, but he's 81 and he couldn't even deliver them. And so you just need somebody that can debate better, and it's not 81 years old.
Biden did okay after he buffered for a little bit. Like he would slow down and slow down. Then
go through the transcript. The fact that he handed Biden 9.5% inflation rate. The fact that he fucking that the supply lines and all that stuff, the interest rates were all due to the $7 trillion debt that Trump incurred during the highest of any president ever, more than all the other presidents combined. The fact that he blew the COVID stuff and he said, "Well, that never happened. I never handed him those kind of inflation rates." All those are lies. Every fucking line in in his entire speech. Go suck your own dick, Savage. Get the fuck out of my room. You suck as a person. You are a fucking dopey cult member. Get the fuck out of my life. How about that?
On the backs, dog.
You can't talk to cult members.
No, I love the desperation of these people because it's
great. It really is.
Anything to grab on. I get it. Maybe they gave up on life, like being a bleeding heart. I don't know.
Okay. Savage has been banned.
No, it says Evil Ian was banned.
Oh no!
No,
you did the wrong one.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah. Well, how do I unban Ian?
Yeah, I think you do it like the Muslims do. You say, "I unban thee, I unban thee, I unban thee," and I think that's how that works.
You guys talk.
That sounds more Hindi than.
I'm gonna see about doing this.
Okay. While Matt tries to correct a massive error,
not a massive
error. That's massive because Ian is like the only person in the room today that actually watched my show on Sunday. So
he's more consistent than the shit that Trump puts in his pants.
Get Ian back. Savage, I don't know who Savage is, but obviously he has someone operating his keyboard for him because I don't understand how someone with that low of an intellect could actually operate his own keyboard, but that's okay. Maybe it's voice activated. The point is that, Matt, when you said that about me saying that Biden will win. I was wrong before when I thought the American public would see through Trump's bullshit and not elect him over Hillary Clinton. I was wrong then. I said, no, there's no way they're going to do that. They will suck it up. And yes, even though they'd rather vote for a dead dog than a woman for president, Trump is a little bit less than a dead dog. And they disappointed me, and they voted for Hillary Clinton. I mean, they voted for Trump. I mean, the majority of the people did vote for Clinton. However, the Electoral College went Trump's way. So I'm not so bold as to say that Biden will win this time. I'm saying if there's a God in heaven who believes in justice and what I care about, then Biden will get reelected.
Well, see, we also got one guy that kind of, when the shit hit the fan at the debate, who kind of stood aside and was like, all right, I'm gonna let this train wreck happen. Mr. RFQ over there.
No, I will admit to something else here that I mean, one of the reasons why I was not real hard on Biden's debate performance. I was disappointed with it. Don't get me wrong. I was very, 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 very disappointed with it. But the reason why I'm not so hard on him is because I am almost 20 years, well, I'm like 15 years younger than him. And I practice routines for comedy. Like when I do a show, it's, I practice like you wouldn't believe, almost like the debate prep. And even with all of that, there are moments when you get there and you get distracted by something and you lose the line and you wind up winging it. The difference is 40 million people are not watching me wing it on stage. and if they laugh at something stupid I say, no one's going to say, well, that's going to be his foreign policy. They just laugh. That's it. When you're running for president, if you have those moments, it's magnified immensely.
Well, it's kind of terrifying when you think about, for example, Biden or Trump. When you hear them try to answer questions and they start lagging, they start buffering, or they trail off. Like, how am I supposed to trust that in a crisis? Like, if Russia launches nukes, I have to trust that this president is going to have the wherewithal to be able to make a decision.
There's a couple of differences. There's a couple of differences in that scenario. On the debate stage, they're asking, okay, Biden is trying to memorize all of these things that were if he were in the Oval Office, he wouldn't have to memorize any of that shit. That's why he has a staff, okay? He has an economic team. He has a team, a domestic team, a foreign team. And so if a situation comes up and they go, okay, shit's going down in Albania, he doesn't have to know off the top of his head everything about Albania, okay? Right. He can say to his people, okay, what's the situation? What are going to be the consequences? They don't have to make a snap decision within 1 minute. They actually probably have like a few hours to make that decision. That's another thing. And he doesn't have somebody in the room just feeding him bullshit and lies, hopefully, because these are his staff. He's not sitting there going, Albania's not even a country. Those people don't have rights. They slept across the border. Albania, no, you mean Alabama, right? So no, you don't.
I'd nuke them too, to be fair.
Yeah, so he has the debate does not show you real time or show you what the job itself is like. Right. Now, to Biden's fault and to his team's fault, when they prepped him, they know how Biden is. Biden likes numbers. Biden loves numbers, and the more details he has, the better he feels. The thing is, I think he was over prepped, and he was trying and he does not like to be wrong, and so he was trying to make sure something as simple as, I don't know if it was 39% or 39.2%. Those are the things he's like going, I don't know. I don't want to be fact checked and someone called me a liar tomorrow because I was off by 2 percentage points. Trump could be off by 100 percentage points and he doesn't care that you call him a liar. It's built in. And so
if I may,
you may, sure.
I think you are falling into the same pattern that I see with the pundits on Twitter, thinking this is about the debate. It's not about the debate.
I didn't follow that pattern.
It's not about the debate performance or any of that stuff. It's about, can he win in November with the optics and the independent voters? And people will say, well, he beat Trump in 2020. Yes, but there wasn't a spoiler in 2020, and people who were Democrats who are actively jumping off ship because of the optics, because they are low information, they are low engagement people. They are jumping off ship because of the optics. It doesn't matter whether his record is good or they even believe he can do the job. They are in a hiring position and saying, there's got to be a better candidate than this corpse that is in front of me with the resume.
I was not addressing any of those things. I wasn't falling into anything.
But you kept saying the debate. And what about the debate?
No, that's because that was the
debate didn't happen. Act like the debate didn't happen. Would you still say it's ridiculous to consider another candidate because we're just too close to an election?
Would I say that? No, but I'm not. How should I put it? Being an independent, I don't have that. The people that let's put it this way: the people that I would have picked did not run or decided not to run. So when it comes down to the final analysis, there are only two people who have an opportunity to get 270 electoral votes. Okay, and if Biden doesn't get 200, if neither one of them gets 270 votes, then it goes to Congress. The Republicans have the upper hand when it comes to representation in Congress. So if Biden doesn't get 270 and no one gets 270, then it goes to the House of Representatives, and we'll wind up with Trump. So I am not. I'm like I said, the people that I would go for are not running. They decided not to run, even with what happened and with the current state of affairs. They're not throwing their hat in the ring. So right as of right now, we have two choices. As far as I'm concerned, I can get to 270. And of those two choices, I'm throwing my $50, because that's all I have to give, to Biden. I'm throwing my voice behind Biden. And that's it, because I don't think me or my people could afford to have a Trump presidency, a second Trump presidency.
I think the whole reason that this debate was so early was for this reason. They wanted to see if he fails, and if he did, you still have time to put in another candidate, because you know what Trump is all about. And we're only, we're close to July. There's still time.
Right. But again, I'm not under the delusion that it's going to happen, or that just forcing Biden to do it would be a smart thing. But I do think that if Biden voluntarily stepped aside and said, I am going to remain in the picture as a consultant, I'm doing this, and come out and say, I understand the optics are not good for this, and that's the only reason I'm doing it, I think they have a chance of rejuvenating their hopes to win.
Well, it kind of feels like that's kind of the route they've taken, because like when it was announced that he was going to talk to his family about the whole situation, it sounds
who would Bill O'Reilly announce that?
No, Bill O'Reilly didn't say that. Every news outlet in the world has said that.
Yeah,
and
no, they did not. They said there was conjecture about it. The conjecture came out of Bill O'Reilly's mouth. Biden did not announce, I'm going to talk to my family to see whether I should drop out.
It didn't say to drop out. It didn't say to drop out. It said he was talking to his family to talk about the current situation and his current position in the campaign. It had nothing to do with quitting the campaign. Just that he was going to talk to them about it.
He did not make that announcement. He did not make that announcement. This is conjecture of the pundits. He announced he was going to Camp David, which presidents do on weekends.
Well, he did talk to his family, as far as I can tell, and it wasn't about him quitting. I think it was more like a comfort thing to to people so that they could see that he's taking their concerns seriously. It's like, look, we're going to talk, whatever. My question off the top of my question, and this is to you, Matt. Did you unban Ian?
No, I have to find out. I asked him what platform he was on. I actually have to go to that.
Oh, he was on YouTube.
All right,
he was on YouTube.
I'll go
But
there and look.
Yeah, so
the
fix
other
that,
thing,
and then you can ban Savage if you want.
Well, he's already banned. He's already banned.
Oh,
But,
okay,
like-
because it didn't say it. It didn't announce it like it did for Ian. What, he has more clout?
I think I just unbanned Ian. I don't know.
But you know, Matt,
did.
like you were saying, yeah, on the Trump's people, like the Michaels of the world, they think it was a slam dunk win. But when you just get away from the partisan side of it, most people know that everyone lost on that debate night because Trump didn't win anybody. He didn't prove anything. Same old.
You see the retards like Savage. Oh, he won. He told the truth. He told the truth.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, they're desperate, maybe because they didn't have fathers. Maybe they didn't have fathers as young men, and they're into this whole thing with Tucker Carlson and his stepdaughter goes black videos. Like, I get it, guys. You're horned up. You've given up on life, and you need you're looking for some old man to come save you. But guess what? An old elderly man's not going to save you, and especially if you can't even acknowledge when he's like, I didn't have sex with a porn star. It's like, hey, dummy, you just had a case, right? So are you saying that he's lying, or is he not mentally capable enough to understand what's going on in his surroundings? And honestly, I bet you that stage smelled like a lot of farts on that night.
All that's a feature.
It's like Ben Gay shaming fart.
They're all features. Everything you mentioned about Trump, again, is what they love about him. They want.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean that's his base. They take a load of in their mouth for him, even though it's like, oh, I need some extra money to help me with my cases. Or they're all for it. But once you get out of that bubble, most of the country, I think, is like, ugh. No one did anyone any favors on Thursday.
Yeah, but I don't even fucking care about the debate. The first of all, Biden did not come out and directly promise he would be a one-term president. But he certainly, four of his staff members in 2019 came out and said that if he runs, he will be a one-term president, assuring people like me that he would not run again in 2024. That was a dishonest moment. They were just trying to, put that out there, but he didn't come out and take a pledge to only run once. But that was definitely if you can look it up, and somebody challenged me on this, and I showed him 15 articles where his staff, his advisors came out and said that. So, it's not about the debate.
I think at that point, here's the problem. I think at that point in time, they really believed it. They probably thought Trump was done. And they really thought there would be like a new generation of Republicans coming back, maybe a more reasonable Republican running and get the nomination. And then there would be no reason for Biden, because Biden is an institutionalist. He wants to have a functioning Republican Party. He wants to have a functioning Democrat. Not that the Democrats ever actually function, because they don't fall. What's the old saying? There's two old sayings. One of them is Republicans fall in line, Democrats fall in love. And the other one is, I'm not a member of any organized party, I'm a Democrat.
You know what? But if you look at recent examples of younger presidents who've taken over and how they've aged in just the first term, Barack Obama and Bill Clinton both got old pretty quickly in their first term. And by the time of their second term, they were old men. Biden is not the guy who beat Trump in 2020. If you look at his, I mean, you talk
it's
about
not even close.
Yeah, he's a again. my mom had heavy dementia, like way beyond where Biden is right now in cognitive decline. But she was still a competent executive for a couple of hours a day when she needed to be. And Jeff Bezos was talking about this the other day. As a CEO, your job is to make one or two key decisions every day. You can't be overwhelmed with making 1,000 executive decisions in a day. It's just not productive, and it's a way for burnout. So really a CEO's job is between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., 2 p.m. to be fully aware and engaged. And I think even Biden, or I think Trump is capable of that. I do
Now,
think,
the only difference is at that point then is the quality of the motives behind the decisions you're making. Okay, and Trump's decisions are almost always based on a transactional thing, is what's going to make him richer, him and his friends richer, or mainly him. He doesn't really care about his friends. Make him richer and make him liked by somebody, because that's the other thing. He really, really wants to be like somebody. Serious daddy issues and probably mommy issues too, but he really wants approval. And he's not getting that.
Our friend Sherry Jacobus, is that your friend? She's been on the program. I call her our friend. She used to work for the RNC until Trump came along, and they tried to have her killed. Michael Caputo actually tried to have her killed for bringing out the fact that the CPAC stuff that Trump was involved in, all that kind of stuff. So, but she says basically, a lot of hardcore Democrats and never Trumpers really, really want Trump. They can't let go of him because he's a money train for them, meaning Jeff Zucker, the people who run the media networks, New York Times, making all these excuses and trying to doing everything they can to keep Trump in the game, because they actually came out and said, they tried to make excuses for the lines that Trump said about the immigrants taking black jobs. You think he meant that as a racial statement? No, that's not racist. Yeah, they're taking black jobs.
What's a black job?
Well, I thought that a black job was any job that actually involved the word
white people
black.
don't want to do.
Well, it's like what GD. So like what GD does. He has a black job here.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
so something like the black market.
Right,
Those are black jobs. Those
Stephen just took a black job.
Well, that's because he's
reparations.
He's got the last name Ortiz, so that's why he did it.
But they put that out there as like it's even a viable question. New York Times. Do you think he actually meant anything racist by that? Like, come on, how far can you bend over backwards to kind of make excuses for this guy?
You know, the dude might not be like Hitler racist per se, but he is so ingrained old white dude, like fucking racist. It's unreal. Because like he doesn't go around saying N-word, N-word, N-word all day, but his just normal conversational verbiage about people of color is so fucking racist and gross, and nobody seems to fucking care about it. And don't get me wrong, it's words, but it's the fucking sentiment behind it. The dude's a racist. Yeah, he's still a racist.
Yeah, we knew that all along. He wanted to have four innocent men killed because they were black. Even after he knew they were innocent, they still should get the death penalty for being black, I guess.
And Biden wasn't much better. He called them super predators.
I don't think he called them super predators. I think the super predators was based as a comment not toward black people, but toward criminals in general. A particular class of criminal, I thought.
Black criminal.
You know,
no, I think it's 64% black and it's like 27% white. And others, super predators refer to a criminal class, not a criminal race.
Right.
You know, when like Biden had like those old man looks faces, you know, those old man looks, like they just showed him the Hawk Tuohy girl video, and and like, hey, it's like, Jill, these women are doing this shit. It seemed like Biden, he just had the look of like, I'm 81 years old and I gotta fucking really put up with this asshole that is just
No, you don't have to. That's part of my point. Is like he doesn't have to. He could
you're
go
right.
just retire and be a grandfather.
Yeah,
and just,
but
to be honest, I think I think that what he should have done, and of course, hindsight is damn near perfect. I'm not gonna say 2020 because I disagree that 2020 is perfect vision, but that's beside the point. Hindsight is damn near perfect. The minute that Trump became a felon, a convicted felon, that's when I would have, as president, said, I'm not going to debate him. I'm not going to be on stage with a convicted felon. Just that would be like going to shake hands with a terrorist who happens to. That would be like going to shake hands with a terrorist in another country. You know, so I'm not going to shake Osama bin Laden's hand, even if I meet with him to discuss exchange hostages.
Yeah, but that still would be a no-win situation. They would still say, "Well, he's chickening out." Then you're just using that as an excuse, no matter what.
Well, I just think it's weird that we don't care that he's a felon, right? And we still let him debate and all of this shit. But then there's a third-party candidate, an option, who could have been involved in the debate, could have been a little bit of sense of normalcy, a little bit. And no, he's third party. We don't want that. Bring the felon though.
It's not
Bring
that
the felon
it was
and the guy
third
that's
party. We
almost
don't
dead.
want that. First of all,
they
they
didn't want
said
somebody
that,
on stage calling them out for being ridiculous old fucks. Is what they didn't want.
One of the conditions was that you had to be eligible to win 270 electoral votes, which I agree. I agree that should be a condition. Now, to Bobby Kennedy's, to RFK Jr.'s.
You could go on Bobby.
Okay, to his discredit, when he was being asked, "Are you going to have those kinds of?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm going to there. I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have them by July 1st. I'll have them. I'll have those things. I'll have them." And he doesn't have he still doesn't have them. Now maybe he was. I don't know if he knew he wouldn't have them. He was blowing smoke up people's ass, or if his people were telling him, "No, we have everything in order." And you will be on the ballot. You'll be able to win 270 electoral votes. Even if you're not on all 50 states, the 20 states that you're on will equal 270 electoral votes. So that's on him.
I think you just got to run.
He clearly doesn't have a problem lying.
Just run Taylor Swift. She would easily beat Trump.
Yeah.
Taylor
Michelle Obama would beat him, but Michelle Obama has no interest in being a politician.
Yeah. The rumors that I've heard is like on the short list, like like Kamala would run, obviously, but like Gretchen Whitmer is a name that's been thrown around because they feel like she's got a good chance, and Republicans are afraid of her.
And now this is the part of me that makes I'm ashamed of my country. I'm pulling up Michelle Obama here. They would not vote for a woman because she's a woman. That disturbs the fuck out of me.
I don't even think we're at that point anymore. Especially what happened on Thursday, since no one really won the debate, and a lot of people are like Steven, especially like Steven's age and younger. They're looking at that, and it's like nobody really gave him a viable option. Because Biden with his age, at least he tried to do points. Then Trump, he just looked like the old man that runs around the neighborhood pulling his dick out. That's it.
Trump very much reminds me of my grandfather, and that's exactly why I've never voted for him, and I never will.
But just for the record, everybody.
What GD said.
Just for the record, everybody. Steven's grandfather is a bona fide Klan member. Is or was? Is he dead?
Bona fide him?
Who bona fide him? Somebody probably, but that's the thing though. Is like when I hear Trump talk, his verbiage is very much along the lines of my grandfather's, and it's terrifying, and nobody seems to get it.
Your grandfather said more, but
he said it more in public for sure. But I don't know if he said it more overall.
Right. Let me address what GD said about Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama was hated from the moment she became visible in the 2008 campaign, not because she's a woman, not because she's black, but because she's a uppity black woman, a very outspoken, very confident black woman, and was
Yes, and
hated.
time
I
wounds
don't think. I
and
don't think.
time.
But let me just finish the thought. That I don't think your opening statement, they won't vote for her because she's a woman, is accurate. I think the right white woman has a shot. I think woman doesn't come into it. It's a combination of race, gender, and confidence, outward
Now,
confidence.
now, and time wounds all heals. Okay, no,
Time wounds all heals. Calm down, Biden. Get it together, buddy.
Here's the deal. The opinion that many people had about Michelle Obama, for whatever it was back then, is like people have forgotten that Martin Luther King was a philanderer. Okay, he was fucking a lot of skirts, and now time has passed, and it's like, what women? Are you kidding me? No, he wasn't. He wasn't fucking all those women. He was
Not the people who hated him. They still bring that up every Martin Luther King Day. They still bring that up. That's the point. I mean, Michelle, you're maybe the people in the Democratic Party have loosened up on Michelle Obama, but the people who hated her are still calling her a man. Juanita Broderick's of the world.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have voted for her anyway.
Yeah, but.
Even today, it's not like they would have. No, they had the people that thought that she was uppity as opposed to confident wouldn't vote for her, because that means they're not looking at it in terms of equality. Because a man displaying the same qualities would call confident, okay, and a leader. A woman displaying displaying confidence is bitchy and controlling and conniving. So those people are sexist anyway, and they wouldn't vote for a woman regardless of that, because they're calling her those things because she's a woman. A man displaying the same qualities ambitious. He's ambitious.
I would definitely like them to try and run someone else, because that's politics. That's the way it should be.
Here's the other part of that. They say it's way too late. Timing is bad. If you are a student of history, in 1968,
right,
Robert F. Kennedy Sr. was going to beat Nixon handily. He was gonna clean his clock. Johnson decided. Yeah, Johnson decided not to run. And he was primarying Hubert Humphrey at the time, and nobody wanted fucking Hubert Humphrey. But when Kennedy got killed, which is just 3 weeks from this date, the convention hadn't happened. They still weren't sure who their nominee was going to be. The incumbent was at home watching Lyndon Baines Johnson was watching the convention in mid-July and wanted to get out of bed and fly to the convention. And I decided, forget it. I am going to run because this party is in such fucking disarray. So there is precedent for a change at this point. Now Humphrey got his clock cleaned by Nixon. So,
but also didn't they change the rules by then? I mean, since then, I should say, because in '68, that's how they picked their nominee, was at convention. Now the convention isn't to pick. The convention is just to, I guess, ratify. It's like tradition. Yeah, confirm. Yeah, thank you. Because
I agree with Michael. I don't think Joe will savoob this at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Savoob.
That could be the Trump.
I disagree.
It's funny to say that Trump is, for someone to say, "Oh yeah, Trump is healthier than Biden."
No. Trump has lost. I think Trump has lost some weight. Or he's gotten bigger suits to make it look like he's lost weight.
Or he's just not eating because he's nervous about prison at some point.
I did like Joe Biden's old man zingers, though. Especially, yeah, because that's where I think a younger candidate would have surpassed him, because he actually had some decent zingers. He just couldn't.
You're a loser and a sucker. Not my son.
Like when he called him out on his weight, when he's like, "Yeah, sure, you're 6'3" and 220 pounds." Like he was good. That was great, but he did it this such old man way than call him, you got the morals of an alley cat. That is such an old man zinger.
I was about to say, the thing is, if somebody younger had written his zingers, you know,
it makes me wonder if he was watching Tom and Jerry when he thought of that line.
Well, he didn't think of that line, but
coming back to this, because this is people don't understand. Joe Biden is not Glenn Campbell. Like, if you saw Glenn Campbell in his advanced state of dementia,
when he put the guitar in his hand, he was okay. Take the guitar.
He's not that. Come to the nursing home with
Michigan
me
J.
tomorrow.
Frog.
On Wednesday, come to the nursing home with me. You'll meet people older than Joe Biden who have had the same symptoms he's had for 10 or more years, and they're going to live another 10 years, and they can still have moments of real clarity where their wisdom and their experience, life experience, is invaluable and comes through. This is my point. Like, Biden could do the job, but because people are thinking that the president needs to be on his toes and making snap decisions all day long. Not the case. He could do the job for 4 years. The problem is he could not sit in front of a hiring manager with his resume, even though it's a good resume, and get hired, because I couldn't get hired as a marketing director with 40 years experience. If I went for a job, they'd look at me and say, 65?
That's not it. It's your personality, man. It's not your age.
Well,
They look at your personality and say, if you were 6 to 5, or
are we doing this today?
Fair point. I'm just saying, another person with a nice personality, a good person, a good-looking, pleasant person with the same resume would sit in front of a hiring director and they'd say, an HR person, and they'd say, you know what, 65, you can't be trusted to stick around that long. You just don't look the part. We want somebody that portrays vibrance and youth. And
unless they say, well, we only need somebody for 4 years. So you do the job for 4 years because we got somebody in mind that we think in 4 years will do the job.
No, I'm not saying he has dementia. I can't make that ruling. His doctor could make that ruling. I'm saying he shows severe cognitive decline in moments. He always has been a stutterer, so you can't take that in count. But the fact that he seems to get temporarily off track, and that is a sign of cognitive decline. That could be dementia, but it happens to all people. It happens to me every day on this fucking show. I can't remember simple words that I've been using my whole life.
Well, like I said, it's funny when you see people like Michael, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's dementia," and then you see these like pundits like on Fox and all these other places, and like some of these pundits are in their fucking 80s, and they're like, "He's too old to do this job." Then aren't you saying you're too old to do your fucking job? And I love actually how the conservatives are lining up behind, like, "Oh yeah, he's too old." Hey, dummies, you remember when that zombie Reagan was alive? For the last 5 years of his presidency, he had fucking Alzheimer's, and they put him up like a puppet, just like Glitchy Mitch and his hard reboots. That guy has probably been a fossil and empty for several years now. So to sit there and play this game, like, you love old.
Even Dianne Feinstein.
Hey,
oh yeah,
do we have news today?
Comparing Biden to, no, not making a direct one-on-one comparison. I'm saying you don't understand the cognitive decline of old people until you've spent a lot of time around a lot of different people.
Let's be sensitive. Michael might be suffering from cognitive decline. That's why he types stuff like that.
He's definitely getting there. He's definitely getting to the age where if he hasn't showed it yet, he's probably just in denial. I think
Ron, don't be a whiny bitch. He'll come pick a fight with me
60,
again.
No, I got to get in a wheelchair to fight.
Yeah.
So is this an Allen moment?
Do we have news?
Yeah, we can do news. I should do news. I didn't do it on Friday.
Rod gets so excited.
Nobody noticed. But I think there's some Long Island stuff in the news. So let's go.
An attacker with a crossbow wounded a Serbian police officer guarding the Israeli embassy in Belgrade on Saturday, according to Serbia's Interior Ministry. The officer responded by fatally shooting the assailant.
Both Serbian and Israeli officials indicated initial signs pointed to terrorism as a motive. Interior Minister Ivica Dačić stated that the attacker shot a bolt at the officer, hitting him in the neck. The officer then used a weapon in self-defense to shoot the attacker, who died from his injuries. Chris Anderson reporting.
As European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen traveled to Cairo on Saturday to deliver financial aid at the EU-Egypt Investment Conference, Amnesty International urges the EU to push for human rights reforms in Egypt.
The EU will sign a short-term macro-financial assistance package worth $1.06 billion to strengthen the resilience of the Egyptian economy. This is part of a larger $7.91 billion EU package to support the strategic and comprehensive partnership with Egypt. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
No candidate won a simple majority in a four-way race for Iran's presidency, leading to a runoff election on Friday.
Reformist candidate Masoud Pezeshkian and ultra-conservative candidate Saeed Jalili will be the only names on the ballot. Pezeshkian secured 42.5% of the votes to Jalili's 38.6% in an election that saw only 40% of the nation's 60 million eligible voters participate last Friday. Benjamin Wright reporting.
The Biden administration has proposed new wording for parts of the ceasefire and hostage deal between Israel and Hamas after negotiations reached an impasse.
The revised agreement follows Hamas's suggested changes to the original three-part plan, including a timeline for a lasting ceasefire and the complete withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, which Israel rejected. The new wording reportedly focuses on conditions for the second phase of the deal. Liam White reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
A former lab manager at Northeastern University has been convicted of staging a hoax explosion on the Boston campus and then lying about it to a federal agent.
Jason Duhame, 46, from San Antonio, Texas, was convicted on 3 counts by a federal jury. He faces up to 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000 for each offense. 2 attorneys representing Duhame withdrew from the case in January, court documents show. Jim Kender reporting.
A man was fishing in Florida when a shark bit him, severely injuring his arm, officials said.
The man in his 40s was on a boat at the time of the attack. Nassau County Sheriff's Office spokesperson Alicia Tarancon said. A responding deputy boarded the man's boat and applied a tourniquet to his right arm to slow the bleeding. Kevin Sanders reporting.
4 people were killed and 9 others injured after a vehicle crashed into a Long Island nail salon on Friday, authorities said.
Stephen Schwally, 64, was driving a Chevy Traverse southbound at high speed through a parking lot in Deer Park when he crossed a roadway and entered another parking lot. Suffolk County Police reported Saturday. Schwally then crashed through the front window of Hawaii Nail and Spa. Lawrence Keller reporting.
A North Carolina mother has been arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter after allegedly leaving her 8-year-old daughter in a hot car while at work, resulting in the girl's death, police said.
Officers responded Wednesday evening to reports of a critically ill child inside a vehicle in Charlotte.
There it is. Driving your pickup truck at high speed through a parking lot. Why?
Trying to get the last good spot near the door.
Have you ever been trapped in a parking lot with so many islands and you don't know where the exit is? Of course you're going to speed.
He's not a kid, 64 years old, but now these poor women were just getting their nails done. They're now dead, but they got nice pedicures.
Well, that saves them money. That saves them money with the Undertaker. He won't have to do their nails. He'll get 20% off.
Wow, look at
silver lining.
Yeah, he'll get 20% off.
I can't get these trademarks off her face, but these nails, are great.
Terrible. You're terrible people for making jokes about that kind of stuff.
But we're terrible people.
Nailed it.
Excuse me. I think the terrible person is the one that pronounced impasse. I think that's the terrible person. I'm sorry.
You can't tell me these are not AI voices.
I'm telling you, that's what makes me think. Some, if not all of them, some of those people are AI people, because simple words that every person has been saying, or every English-speaking person has been saying since the beginning of time.
Hey,
they are.
If we could take a minute, If we could take a minute or two and talk to RFK about his debate, it seems unfair that we only talked about Biden and Trump. We should talk about the RFK debate.
I think he could have just stood there on
the
stage.
RFK debate. I didn't watch the RFK debate.
Nobody did except 6 million people.
I pulled it up just to see what his side of things was doing, and then I felt real sad because he was standing on a really nice stage with a nice little podium, staring at the screen. I feel like all he could have done that whole time was just gone, "What the fuck?" every 5 minutes, and probably would have been called a better performance, probably. But
yeah,
it was sad to watch a little bit. It was really sad. I was like, this poor guy, he's trying so hard.
I checked in on it too, and it seemed bad. It just seemed like, oh, I'm here standing next to a TV, and I'm gonna say some stuff.
And just to be clear here, his people and he are saying that 6 million people watched the whole thing live. Now, because on Twitter it says 6 million plus views, but you have to understand that if you scroll past it on Twitter, that counts as a view. If you see it and you're there for a microsecond, Twitter counts that as a view. That means Elon Musk pushed that to 6 million people. It doesn't mean anybody watched it. The amount of people, and I don't know where the numbers are, but if I take a guess, I would say less than 10,000 people watched that, and I would probably say less than 1,000 watched the whole thing. It just, but they're going to stick to this lie. 6 million people watch it. Yeah, let me see some real server log numbers on that and prove it. They won't prove it. So, he did that for nothing. He did that for Mike Binder and his diehard supporters. And I tried to have a conversation with Mike about this, is that because the name Kennedy had some cachet for so many decades in this country. They just want to be aligned with the Kennedy, and they want to have a friend who's president. But if they listen,
John Kennedy and out of what is it, Tennessee? That Senator John Kennedy, and they could get behind him. He's a Kennedy.
Yeah, no. They want the Kennedy family, the Hyannisport Kennedy family,
not
the Mississippi Kennedys.
Who
is it? Hello, you're on. Hello, you're on. I thought we picked up. Hello, you're on the air with Doug. Who am I talking to?
This is Robert Kennedy Jr.
Did you hear that Joe Rogan stopped somebody from talking like you? He said, "Don't do that."
No, I don't really listen to Joe Rogan. But if everyone, since 6 million people turned in to see me stand next to a TV and yell at it, it's beautiful.
Now, let me ask you, what was the interest rate that Biden inherited from Trump? Can you comment on that?
I'm gonna say 9%.
Wow, what was that? Was like a moment of truth. You don't tell the truth. You lie like Trump does. What happened just then?
Well, let's be honest. I have this brain worm, and it's helping me out.
Is this the Ratatouille situation?
Yeah. Whenever I get confused on stage, I go, "Worm, help me out," and I summon him like worm, and the worm.
All right. Are you prepared now to kind of discuss some of the issues in depth, like your take on some of these issues that we are facing?
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you about this. Trump wants to dissolve NATO because we are secure. We have an ocean in front of us. I think, if I recall, that you want to stop funding endless wars. You claim you're going to stop all the wars in the world. We're going to stop funding the Ukraine, but also the wars in Africa and Yemen and all those kind of things. They're all going to go away when you become president. Are you, first of all, are you for the dissolvement of NATO?
No, I gotta say, I love NATO, the National Association of Tires of Orthopedy.
Is that an answer to the question? I guess. What would you do about the Middle East war? Now, would you stop? Would you break ties with Israel altogether?
No, I would say we need to take that land from the Israelis and the Palestinians and build a casino just like Jesus would want.
Now, if we can segue to immigration, are you concerned about the wetbacks taking the black jobs?
No, to be honest, if you're not white, let's be honest, you're not right. That's what I'm saying.
No.
But
amen, brother.
Yeah.
Wait, but what difference does it make if you have a black guy shining your shoes or a brown guy shining your shoes? Really?
You know, Matt, that's what I've been saying for years. If my indentured servants, I don't care if they're white or black, as long as they're slaves. I mean, servants.
Yeah.
Slaves.
I'm trying to think, like, if we had to rename the pancakes from Aunt Jemima to something like more Hispanic.
I would just call them my favorite black cakes.
Yeah, we don't want to take away that black job, the pancake lady.
She does a hell of a job. Have you seen the titties on Aunt Jemima?
No, they're not as big as Miss Butterworth's. I'll tell you that right now. I swear to God, Randy.
Now, Miss Butterworth, that's not really a generic name. You can't really tell her race by looking at Miss Butterworth.
No, but she got titties, though. I swear to God, man.
I can't tell you how many times when I would have my favorite black pancakes, I would take the Aunt Jemima bottle into a closet and do my worst.
All right, now, what do you've been known for fighting as an environmental protection guy, pretty much. That's a lawyer. That's how you made your bones after your parents left you with however many millions of dollars. The deregulations of the EPA. Where do you stand on that? Because it seems like you are very aligned with Trump's policies, except when it comes to EPA stuff. Tell me about what you would do about downwind pollution and stuff like that.
Well, downwind is terrible, especially if you're farting at a party on a deck and someone is at the other corner of the deck and you just let one rip. That's definitely downwind. And we don't need the EPA to tell us that if we want clean drinking water, it has to come right from Flint, Michigan, because they have the best water.
Now, what do you feel? What's your position on climate change? Real or not? It's just a made up hoax, a Chinese hoax, They
just want to take our big trucks.
Climate change is real. I had a family member that was driving somebody, and a strong wind took his Volkswagen off the road and into a ditch or some water. It's terrible.
Now, let me. This is might be a little bit of a complex hypothetical, but let's say you're flying in an electric plane. And it gets cloudy, even though you're above the clouds, it gets cloudy, and then it's not working on the solar and you can't fly. And then you end up on an electric surfboard with sharks and batteries. What would you do in that situation?
Well, if you're going to use an electric plane, make sure to charge it right away before you go anywhere. Because that son of a bitch, you don't want to be in the air and lose that. As for electric surfboards, I don't like them because the extension cord does not reach into the ocean.
You're annoying, Mike Chavola, so I say let's keep going for a while. Now, what would you say to somebody like Mike Chavola, who is going to vote for Trump, even though he says first of all, he said he didn't believe that the Republican Party was not headed towards a theocracy. Now they are putting the 10 Commandments in schools, and Oklahoma has just started to say that they want the Bible to be taught as history in all their classrooms in Oklahoma. Somebody to Mike Chavola, who says he's not a religious person, but he's still going to vote for Trump because he doesn't believe that we're headed for a theocracy.
Well, let's be honest. If you lived in any of those states, you would need the 10 Commandments in front of you so you could figure out a way to get out of that fucking hellscape. Because who wants to live in Oklahoma or Mississippi? They're terrible states.
Now, wouldn't you concur that, you know, I don't know if it matters that much in those places because I'm not sure they can read.
That is a fair assessment. But
Thank you.
If you're having trouble like that, or maybe Michael is one of these guys that needs to learn how to man up, he could go to one of these conservative camps, but not like me, because I got worms and I got guns.
All right, well, we're gonna have to let you go.
Conservative camp. That sounds
like I'm getting a brain worm. Let's just say amen to that.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, brothers. I'll see you later. I gotta go shoot up with some creatine.
Now, in my lifetime, and when I first went to Florida, when I ran away from home, my first day in school, they asked me to do a book report on the Book of Job, and at that point, I didn't even know what the Book of Job was. I didn't even know it was in the Bible, but I don't know when. Because we're talking about the 70s, 1973, 74. I don't know when we stopped letting states teach from the Bible as history in schools. That's something I should probably look up. When did that actually stop? Because we're talking mid-70s. It was still happening in Florida. I think this is a dangerous road we're going down to, because we're going to be teaching that as history. Then we have to tell people the world is only 6,000 years old.
I don't understand why these conservatives hate this country so much. I mean, you're fucking fighting over the 10 Commandments, and you complain about China, but then you're ready to bend over for them. You got to have educated people. I mean, I understand, like, Trump's not educated and not a smart guy, but you don't have to be like him.
Do we even lead any categories as far as education goes at all, as far as anything goes? Because last I heard, America went from like being one of the top contributors in the world to just sit here and take everyone else's innovations because we're fucking dumb Bible fucking retards.
Well, if America, this is a question I can't seem to get anybody to really even take seriously, is if America is a third world country and it's gone to hell, it's a piece of shit right now, why do we still have an immigration problem? Why do people still want to come here if it's so bad here?
Because they're coming from fourth world countries.
Oh, I didn't know there was a fourth world.
Well, it started during COVID. There were only three worlds before, but then once COVID hit, what the bottom became even bottomer.
So, what is a second? What would be a second world country?
Canada.
Those are countries. Yeah, those are countries that actually have indoor plumbing, but once it gets outside, it just goes to the street and not into a sewage system.
So, do they have an immigration problem?
Second world countries? No.
No. they just want they want to go from fourth world to third world, but that's
it's baby steps. It's progress. It's like AA, one day at a time, one level at a time.
You're saying at some point they will want to go to a second world country, but just
or they either want to go to a second world country or raise this one from a third world to a second world. Like they're ambitious. They're like saying America has so much potential, we can help make it better.
So they don't want to tear this country down?
Not the immigrants, though. They want to build it up. The people that want to tear it down are the ones that have all the money and the wealth, because if they can tear it down, they can control more of the resources.
That's definitely the ones at the top trying to tear it down for sure. It's not the ones from the bottom.
Yeah.
The ones from the bottom want it to be better. This is the ones at the top like it the way it is because they get all the money.
And really, it's not even, to me, it's not even like a Trump thing or anything more. Since like that Project 2025 is out there and what the Heritage Foundation wants to do, it's like why would anybody, conservative, liberal, whatever, want to vote conservative at that point? Like a hard right conservative would, but like a regular conservative that like Michael, like a rhino, where for some reason you claim to be a Republican, but you want the government to take your personal freedom and shit like that. And like, I wonder too, like if Trump does win, what happens to the internet? Because just like 2 years ago, there was legislation introduced to nationalize the internet because they want to control, because they don't like the idea that people can gather and shit like that.
And free flowing thoughts.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, Pornhub is now available in Indiana again.
Yeah.
What? Which congressman? Which congressman realized
an Indianapolis judge blocked the law for right now, and Pornhub is fully accessible right now.
Yeah, but see, that's
that's my gross hand.
Yeah, but see,
is that a win or a loss?
Well, I'm married, so depends on the night. Usually a win.
But those cases are just tests. Those are pilot programs, like in Texas and Indiana.
Yep.
Because then if you let the government nationalize the internet, like conservatives want to do, and Michael, you claim to love this free speech in this country, so you should be really concerned about this, because the pendulum will always swing back. Read fucking history. And
I never heard it. To be fair, I never heard him claim he cares about free speech.
Well, and when you nationalize the internet, and then the government can see what you're doing, what they're blocking, what they're giving you access to, then you end up developing a social credit score like what China has, because now they know what you're doing when you're on your internet, doing whatever you want. The next thing you know, we're fucking making Nikes for China instead of the other way around.
Yeah, but we'll be making them smaller, though.
That's true.
I think most of the people who are non-religious or atheists or secular people who are still backing Trump just don't believe, despite all the evidence, that the Republican Party is leading Trump. I don't think this is Trump's idea, because I don't think he was ever really a religious guy in the first place. He used the religious people, and now he's afraid of losing them. But they are driving the boat for a theocracy, which almost every one of those Trump supporters I know are vehemently against. They're not part of any church. They don't go to church. They don't want to take a Bible-based citizenship test, but they don't believe it's really going to happen, even though we are seeing it happen before our eyes. And they're doing this stuff. They're making the Supreme Court into a court full of Christian judges, and they are basically ruling that the church, we should do away with the separation of church and state, and the church should have, but then they're not accepting that as, don't believe your eyes. Don't believe that Trump is saying he doesn't want to do this, even though he's doing it.
Yeah, well, it's like the people that say they always want to help kids. Those are the ones that are fucking them most of the time.
Right.
Like that, like
Baron Fogel.
Yeah, and like the Q anal people, it's like, we know what you're trying to do. You want to bang kids. I mean, it's so fucking obvious. And those are the people that normally get caught with their hands in the cookie jar, pun intended.
That's disgusting.
If we can turn the page slightly here, because Stephen just said that's showbiz. I'd like to talk about showbiz. I have some show business before. I don't know if Ron has some official show business, but you guys remember? You've all seen Young Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Steven? No, yeah.
Rolling the hay.
Dude, you gotta watch Young Frankenstein. You can't be a comedian and not know.
Okay, I'll check it out.
The scene in there that Gene Hackman is in with the monster Peter Boyle, who is playing the monster, and Gene Hackman is a blind
Gene
guy.
Wilder.
No, Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman is the blind guy, the old blind guy.
Oh, okay, all right.
The monster goes to see, and he's like pouring drinks on him, all this stuff, breaking his glass, lighting his thumb on fire, all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like, and the monster is just like Peter Boyle is playing in some
that look is priceless.
Yeah. There was a real life moment of that I'd like to share with you guys. Here it goes.
I can't remark about what just happened. Does anybody realize that this is Stevie Wonder?
Now, Stevie Wonder, if you missed that, Stevie Wonder standing next to Mariah Carey for people on the radio, and he goes to hand her a microphone, but she's moved away, and he's walking over. He's still walking over to. Let me play it one more time.
Oh.
I can't even.
Stevie's young.
The face in the background, the lady that went.
Yeah. If there was ever any doubt that Stevie Wonder is truly blind, I think that should dismiss any of those claims.
Although I have a question, how do we know that Stevie Wonder isn't G.D. Fenderson and vice versa? I've never seen them in the same room together, and I'm confused now a little bit.
Okay. I can't dispel that rumor. I can't.
You guys look a lot. You guys look too much alike. I'm just not buying it. There's something there.
All right. Exactly. Do we have showbiz news or not?
Yeah, I do have some showbiz news.
Let's do showbiz news and get away from this fucking political nightmare.
Yeah.
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz. Showbiz.
Showbiz, everybody. That's right. I have my woman sunglasses on, and I got some lingerie on, and I know some people in our audience are very excited about that. But alas, we must move on to entertainment news.
We're going to be pushing sunglasses starting tomorrow, by the way.
Oh yeah, all right.
We have a eyewear sponsor coming up.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Oh,
what was that?
There we go.
Wrong picture. Wrong.
Oh
thing?
no, I wanted to start at the beginning. That would seem to make sense. So I just wanted to mention this. That movie Inside Out 2 is still #1 at the box office. It's still making money. The movie here on the right is A Quiet Place. This is like a prequel to the movie A Quiet Place. This just came in second. So everyone's excited because now people are going to the movies. It's pretty insane. Is that displaying again or no? Nope.
No, there's nothing up.
Fucking Google.
Oh no.
No worries. Maybe one day it'll work for me.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Or maybe one day I'll return this work computer. I don't know. We'll see.
Nah. Why do that?
Yeah, I don't want to make any assumptions. There we go. Yeah. So Inside Out 2, still #1. Steven, have your kids seen it yet?
Not yet.
What are you doing to them, man?
I don't know, taking them outside and not sitting inside watching movies all day.
All right. I mean, I guess if you're gonna parent, so
yeah, my bad. Sorry, I'll take them in the house and put them on the iPads and let them rot instead.
There you go. Now you're learning.
Okay.
And make sure you're learning about the Bible too, because it's important.
Oh no, yeah, we have Bible study 3 times a day when we're when we're not watching.
Yeah.
Why not just give them away? That's what I would.
Well, we're not to that part of the Bible yet, but that's coming up. Go on, back to you, Ron.
Yeah,
Ricky.
So this is Ricky Gervais, and he's got a new comedy special in the works. He's on tour, and the tour will run through the end of 2025, and he will have a new Netflix.
Please welcome to us.
I apologize. Get that. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I apologize.
Stepping on showbiz.
Oh yeah, no. Let's interrupt this to plug me.
No, I apologize.
This is like watching the debate all over again.
It is. I mean, I don't understand how this technology works. What's going on?
Cognitive decline all around. Brought some for everybody.
Yeah. There we go.
And I like Ricky Gervais. I would never step on him by accident.
Never. So I don't know if you guys are excited, but that's going to happen by the end of next year that he'll have a new Netflix special.
I don't love
That's exciting.
I mean, so I could take him or leave him, but I don't like his stage personality. He says I go too much. Like whenever he's talking about a conversation, so she goes and I go and he go, and that's like a pet peeve for me. I hate people say he goes, I go. I don't know. I'm not a huge Ricky fan. I get that he's funny. I get the jokes. It's just something about him. I want to punch him.
I have very similar feels towards Tom Segura because during his stand-up sets, he'll go now, in between every sentence he does. It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, and occasionally Bill Burr has the vocal crutch too. When he'll be like, I don't know. He'll do that.
Yep.
Yeah. His one special, there was a lot of that in Bill Burr special. So local friends who all, Will Smith is back at it. He was on stage at the BET Awards last night. He's got a new single coming out or is out, and
I thought Jada was his new single.
Got he.
Get your fucking single out of your fucking mouth or something.
So he's been doing everything to rehab this image from
not just him. The machine is working for him. I want to mention this because not only has AI helped me put videos together now, it's actually telling me what videos I should do to grow my channel. And one of the things over the weekend, it was Friday, was you should do a video on Will Smith's unpublicized acts of kindness. Like, why? Because it will do well. I think AI has a stake in rejuvenating Will Smith's career or making him more. I don't know why they are.
Will Smith has used AI off and on over the years.
Yeah,
to make content.
That spaghetti thing was the beginning but it's
between him and his husband Jada, they both use it a lot.
So they told me to do a video on Will Smith's unpublicized charitable thing. I did, and it did fucking nothing. I mean, I think it got like 500 views, which is nothing for the shorts that I put out there. Generally, they'll get like 20. The Rolling Stones thing is still going at like 70,000. I don't know. It just seemed like AI is trying to stack the deck for Will Smith. So I'll relinquish the floor. I'm sorry.
All right. AI loves Will Smith apparently. And you showed Stevie Wonder clip. This is Michael J. Fox. He apparently was on stage playing guitar with Coldplay. He only hit a few bad notes, so good for him.
It really only takes one bad note.
But
if you hit it loud enough and consistent or long enough, you can kill a lot of people.
Yeah, he was out there in a chair. He had a guitar and he was strumming. Who knows how loud it was? Maybe only the board heard it. Honestly, I mean, my mom has Parkinson's. It would have been great if they would have had the sound up on his guitar and all you hear is but that's just me. That's just me. I'm a sucker for the classics.
Yeah.
You guys all seemed a little stunned. I don't know.
Now, Eddie Murphy is
Jed Reinhold, is that who that is?
Yep, that is. Yes, good guess. I mean, it's tough to see it. You can see there's a base there that used to be Judge. Yeah, it used to be him, but now he's got this new faces, and so he's older now, but he's making the rounds, and so is Eddie Murphy because Beverly Hills Cop, was it like 4, comes out this week. This week on
he
Netflix.
Went to his plastic surgeon and said, "Give me the norm."
Yeah, he does look bizarre, and if you've seen the trailer, he does look weird in it because he looks like that. So I don't know. Are any of you excited about this new Beverly Hills Cop movie coming out this week?
No.
No.
I couldn't get
I think
excited.
I've only seen half of the first one. That was it.
I can't think of anything that I would be excited about a movie coming out about. I'm just movies.
I'm excited about the new Deadpool coming out. I am.
Hell yeah.
I like the Deadpool movies.
Yeah, I'm sort of excited about that, considering there hasn't been too much out, unless you want to see Inside Out 2 or whatever. Let's see.
This is something I'm really. Oh, I thought that white screen. I was really excited for that.
I know, Matt. It's all right.
We're all
right,
done.
Showbiz News.
And I'm here since GD fucked it up.
Look, I apologize. I was trying to do something for what's his face for Steven.
Oh, you were doing the
Did
sound.
Ron take himself out?
Yeah,
he was frozen.
Oh.
Comedians who are funnier than Segura.
Ron is still black. Ron has taken the black job. We see.
Now, I found this mainly for Steven. It's about a minute long. If it's longer than, I'm going to try to fast forward to the spot I want, but it's pretty close. This is
that? Where I don't see no thing.
This is for Steven.
I don't see.
You all gave me blank ass looks and stares when I said it in this chat. Here's proof. Right here. GD Fenderson is Stevie Wonder, and you can't prove me any different. I knew it.
No, Steven, don't ever mention Stevie Wonder again. Because if that's the result of you mentioning him, we can't have that on this program.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. I apologize.
I brought him up originally with the Mariah Carey thing, but I just thought that was it was young Frankensteinish. So tomorrow we have an Indiana comedian on. Are you excited about that? Indiana.
Sure. Yeah, I thought we had one. I thought Steven was an Indiana comedian. You mean there's another one?
Another one. We have another one.
Paul How many are there?
Too many.
Well, Paul P. Was originally on this program when he was calling himself Peter Parkers. I think I don't know which one is his real last name, Peters or Parkers. I don't know. But I was a Spider-Man last name. But he's been on the program several times. He has a big show coming up on July 5th that he's going to want to talk about. He's from, I think, Indianapolis. So he'll be on the program tomorrow. He's the only guest we have scheduled this week.
Okay.
I have a couple of evening shows late. Scheduling for tomorrow night, a woman who wants to talk about learning to listen to Palestine, which should be a controversial stuff and maybe get me some hate. And
like listen to the hits, listen to Palestine, listen to the
hits.
Some of our people in our chat room will probably fucking flip their shit over all the Palestine talk.
I don't know. I don't hear a lot of chatter about that except on Twitter from the people who I would consider far leftist, far like Crystal Ball and her dopey husband. What the hell's his name?
Mr. Ball.
Kyle something. Kyle Kuklinski or something. Kyle Kuklinski.
I know.
Kaiser Solskjaer.
People are shocked that we would just let Israel still do that to Palestine while the people of Ukraine are getting fucking bombarded every day for the past 2 years. And it's just kind of like, we have to let this happen.
I have a friend who is from Iran, and he was talking about how because he still has family in Iran, and he talks about how people in Iran hate Hamas. Like the government might be funding them, but the people on the ground, that at least the people he knows in his life, like anybody can make it. Like my world is full of Trumpers, so I can talk of my experience with Trumpers.
Some breaking news here.
Oh, at the Supreme Court?
Yeah, they just issued
an immunity statement.
Yeah, U.S. Yeah, let me see here. We pull it up here.
Read it. Read it. Read it. We'll do it live.
The Supreme Court has ruled that while a president is immune from criminal prosecution for official acts taken in office, he is not immune for unofficial acts. Under our constitutional structure of separated powers, the nature of presidential powers entitles a former president to absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions within his conclusive and preclusive constitutional authority. He is entitled to at least presumptive immunity from prosecution for all of his official acts. There is no immunity for unofficial acts, the ruling says. We are looking through the opinion to see if the court has anything to say about what constitutes an official or unofficial act.
See, that's the problem they're going to have, is because now they're going to have to probably send it back to Chutkin for her to decide which acts that Trump performed on January 6th were official and unofficial. And to be honest, they already decided that when he's acting as a campaigner, that's not an official act, because states, the federal government, Trump has nothing to do with the regular state elections. That's not his purview. So they took all this fucking time to say nothing.
Really? Basically. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to hear the dissenting opinion and who authored it. Do we know?
You just heard the dissenting opinion. They took all this fucking time to say nothing.
I don't want to hear.
They took all the time to say we don't know what was. We have to figure out what's official and what's not before we can make a decision. Isn't that what we were doing to begin with?
I want to hear what a Supreme Court justices issued as a dissenting opinion. Do we have it yet or no? Probably hasn't been released yet. The dissenting.
No, what I was reading is like
what was the vote? Was it 6-3? Was it 6-3?
Oh, it was a 6-3 ruling.
Where are you finding? I gotta.
Sotomayor says in her dissent, she blasted the court's majority decision in Trump versus U.S., writing in part that the American opinion permanently changes the nature of the American presidency. Today's decision to grant former presidents criminal immunity reshapes the institution of the presidency, she wrote. It makes mockery of the principal foundation to our Constitution and system of government that no man is above the law, relying on a little more than its own misguided wisdom about the need for bold and unhesitating action by the president. Ante at 3:13, the court gives former President Trump all the immunity he asked for and more. Because our Constitution does not shield a former president from answering for criminal and treasonous acts, I dissent, Sotomayor added. Yeah, and then she also added, the indictment paints a stark portrait of a president desperate to stay in power. Exactly.
This also says that he's facing 3 criminal cases right now: the Capitol riot, 2020 election, classified documents, and the Georgia 2020 election.
Yeah. And remember, it's okay to break the law as long as you're rich and have money in this country. And it's okay to be on the Supreme Court and take money and vacations and things like that and be involved in January 6th.
The Supreme Court only heard 61 cases this session, in my understanding. If I got that number right, 61 cases. 15 of those cases somehow involve Donald Trump or Trump in some way, him or his people. About it. I'm spitballing about that number. I think it's about 15.
All right, get to the point, Willie.
No, that's it. That's the point. I'm just saying that Trump has taken up damn near a fifth of the Supreme Court's time. They could be deciding. Well, not that they would be deciding real shit. If they wanted to decide real shit, they could decide real shit.
Yeah, not a good day for America. I don't know. Craig Ferguson used to say, "Well, it's a great day for America, everybody." I wonder what he would do if he had a show tonight.
But also, I think it also makes the point too. You're also saying, because there's all this talk about age with Biden, the Supreme Court is in the same situation. I mean, how old are most of those fossils sitting on that court currently? And that's it's the same thing. Yet you don't hear from them much, just in written dissents. But we have no idea what their mental acuity is, and we all know, everyone. It's so weird that we all know that some of those judges are corrupt. There's no doubt.
Three
we're
judges are corrupt. We know that three are. We know that three are corrupt. Robert.
Did we say goodbye to Govs?